Take your seats for a German lesson. This is Ask Angelika, episode 17, and we're live on BeLive.tv with Alice Sprincher. Guten Tag, Angelika. Wie geht's?
Hallo Steven, mir geht's gut. Und dir?
Mir auch. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
I did. Good. Right. Okay. So to everybody, we'd like to say hello. And if you enjoy watching the show, then please do share. Now, today, Angelika has combined my love of Formula One with learning German. And so the show today is learning German with Formula One. Would you like to explain, Angelika, and take the show?
Yes. And I think the first thing to say is that I'm actually not interested in Formula One. But I know you're not the only person. I know a lot of people are. And of course, if you are also interested in learning German, what better way to learn some German than with Formula One? And to start off with, so I had to do a bit of research because, as I said, I'm not really interested in it. So I thought, let's have a look what actually is available. And of course, Formula One itself has got a website, a dedicated Formula One website in German. And Formula One in German is called Formel 1. And I think you're going to share the screen of that one, aren't you?
I'm just going to say Formel 1.
Yeah,
so
Formel 1.
Formel 1. Formel is Formula, 1 is one.
Yep.
And yes, I am going to, just give me a moment, share the screen of the website if you'd like to talk about it.
Yes, I had a look around, and now part of it, the reason may be because I'm not really interested in Formula One, but I sort of thought that the website may be a little bit more difficult. So in order to read the articles, you would need to have some knowledge of German. So I scrolled around and I thought, well, I wonder if I can find anything that even beginners can have a look at. I mean, yes, beginners, if they know all the terminology, they may still pick up words anyway. But then I came across the drivers' profiles. And I thought, well, let's have a look at two really important drivers in the Formula One. And the first one, of course, has to be Lewis Hamilton.
Right. If you're watching us, sorry.
Yeah.
If you're watching us live now, if you take the broadcast full screen, you will see the browser window, which I'm sharing full screen as well. So you'll be able to read what we're actually going to do. Thank you, Angelika. Thank you.
Okay. So if you can get to Lewis Hamilton.
Right.
There we are. So this is sort of the profile that some of the things people will learn as beginners. I mean, if you remember, wie heißen Sie? And Lewis Hamilton would have said Lewis Hamilton, or wie heißt Lewis Hamilton. And it gives you, in bullet points, a few nice bits of information. So let's test your German, Stephen. While you look at that screen.
Yeah, I'm on the screen. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
First question, wann hat Lewis Geburtstag?
1. Juli. Can you hear my answer or not?
Yes, no, I think.
1. Juli?
I can't see it on screen now. I thought it was the 7th of January.
Oh, sorry. I thought the date was the back to front. So
I don't know. I don't know. So, no, it's a German website, so it wouldn't be. The Germans have the same date. The Germans have the same date as in English, so it wouldn't be what we call back to front. And if any Americans are watching, they will have to look at it the same way the Germans do and the English do as well. So I think it would be der 7. Januar or am 7. Januar. So the question was, of course, when is Lewis's birthday? And the answer is am 7. Januar.
that went exceedingly well. Right, I'm going to read that out because then I get practice as well. Wann hat Lewis Geburtstag? In other words, when is Lewis's birthday? And the answer was 7. Or 7. Can you just tell me?
Am 7.
Am 7. Januar.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So, but actually, that's a good way to remind people that the Germans have got the date the same as the English as well, and not like the Americans, because any American person watching this probably would have made the same mistake as you did. And
well, yes.
if you wanted to send him a birthday card, you would send it to him in the wrong month.
I know.
So the second question then, wie alt ist er?
And the translation of that is, how old is he?
Yeah.
And war in 1985 geboren. Dabei ist 32 Jahre alt.
Ja, ist 32 Jahre alt.
So he is 32 and he was born in 1985. Okay.
Yeah, so these are things that one of the first questions sort of people get when they learn German, like how old are you, when is your birthday? So that's why even beginners can work these things out. Okay, and then let's come to, I made the next question very easy again for beginners, and I'm asking you, ist Amerikaner?
Nein. Ist von Großbritannien. Are you going to help me?
Well, we could have said, well, kommt aus Großbritannien. You've got several choices. You could have said ist Engländer, or you could have said ist Brite.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So either of those. Of course, I could have asked, welche Nationalität hat Which nationality does he have? Woher kommt Where does he come from? So there's several questions there we could have asked.
So ist Engländer.
Right.
It's the correct answer.
Engländer.
Okay.
Yes, he's English, isn't he? He's not Scottish or Welsh or anything. That shows me how much I know.
He's English all the time.
He's English all the time, even if he loses. Okay,
exactly,
cool.
Yeah.
Hat Hobbys?
Hat Hobbys? And that translates to, does he have hobbies? Yeah. And I'm going to share the screen again as I toddle off. And hat Hobbys. Spielt Gitarre. Hört Musik und Party mit Freunden.
Ah, okay. Spielt Gitarre, hört Musik und mag Partys mit Freunden. That sounds interesting. Playing the guitar, listening to music and parties with friends.
Indeed.
Sounds like an interesting person.
Yeah. I mean, the thing...
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right, go on.
The thing about looking at the website is that you can, if in learning German, you can say Geburtstag is the birthday, Geburtsort, Nationalität, Große, Starken, Schwachen. You can actually learn the meanings of those words by looking at the answers.
Yes.
So it is for anybody to familiarize themselves with the German words which are used when you're doing a Steckbrief, which is a profile, yes?
Yeah, so
that's very good.
Yes, you could then do your own.
Right.
Yeah, maybe not as a Formula One driver, but you could always look at the keywords and then fill in your own details or think about your own details.
That's true. If you're watching us live, welcome. And if you'd like to help us, if you want to share this, we would be eternally grateful. And we are currently, Angelika is teaching us learning German with Formula One. And our next Formula One driver is Sebastian Vettel.
Yes, I mean, you didn't think I would do a German lesson and only have an English driver there. that would not be on. So we'll have to have a look at Sebastian Vettel as well. So it's the same Steckbrief again, the same layout. It's identical to Hamilton, except now we have Sebastian Vettel's details. So let's have the first question again then. Wann hat Sebastian Geburtstag?
Sebastian hat Geburtstag 3. Juli.
Ja, am 3. Juli. Sebastian hat am 3. Juli Geburtstag.
Okay, and we'll go through them again in a moment. What's the second question?
The second question, I thought I'd do a different one now. Wie groß ist er?
Groß größer is height, and er ist 1,75 Meter. Yeah. 70?
Ja, 1,75 Meter.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, and the next question?
Taller than me, I just realized. Okay, the next question. Was ist sein Lieblingsessen?
Lieblingsessen. What is his favorite thing to eat? And the answer on his Steckbrief, his profile, is pasta.
Yeah, that's a nice German word, isn't it?
Well,
I don't think we need to translate that one.
No, we all use the same word, don't we? English, Italian, and I'm just going to go through, drop that down, and come back to the two of us. So, question 1, if you'd like to, first question about Sebastian, if you'd like to read that out.
Oh, okay. Wann hat Sebastian Geburtstag?
And I answered am 3. Juli, and the question was, when is Sebastian's birthday? And I answered am 3. Juli, which is the 3rd of July. Because I've got the dates the right way around now.
Yes.
Then the next question?
The next question was, I've forgotten now. Oh yeah. Wie groß ist er?
And I said 1,75 Meter, which is 1 meter 75 centimeters. And the question was, wie groß ist er? How tall is he?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And the last question then was, was ist sein Lieblingsessen?
And I said that it was pasta. And the question was, what's his favorite food? Pasta. So that's the same in German and in English, and in Italian as well. Pasta. It's the same word.
So
right.
Those are things people might be interested about, the racing drivers, and it's so not everything on there was easy, but there are a few nice easy things for even beginners. So well, even if your German isn't advanced yet, but you are very interested in Formula One, there will be things in there that you can have a really good read, and hopefully you will enjoy as well. I also saw, I have to admit, I didn't check on Lewis Hamilton, but on Sebastian Vettel's, I saw at the bottom a link to his own website. So I clicked on that one and I had a look, and there was his account. It was a blog post and his account from last Sunday's race, which actually gave us the idea of talking about Formula One today, because it is happening at the moment. And I thought, well, let's have a look at a couple of sentences. We can't really look at the whole blog post, but I picked out a few sentences he used in his blog. And the first one that I picked up was, ich konnte vorne bleiben, ich fand einen guten Rhythmus.
Right, okay, I'm just going to come back now, and I'm going to drop that down. And I'm going to hide that and bring the text up. Could you read that again, please, Angelika?
Ja, ich konnte vorne bleiben. Ich fand einen guten Rhythmus.
Right. Okay. Ich konnte, I was able to. Vorne bleiben, stay. And
Yeah.
what does fauna mean?
Fauna is at the front.
Okay. And I found a good, I'm going to take a flyer out of this, I found a good rhythm. I was able to stay at the front. I found a good rhythm.
I found a good rhythm, exactly. So things were doing really well then at the time. Actually, he then said, alles war in Butter.
Right, now, alles war in Butter. Well, in English, we know that like a knife through butter is a saying. So I'm going to, well, I can't guess. What does that actually mean, literally and colloquially?
Well, literally, it would mean everything was in butter, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But if you think that when butter is nicely spreadable, everything is going really well. So actually, it just means everything was okay. Everything went well. Everything was okay. I think sometimes people, or some people may say everything was hunky-dory. Take your pick.
Right. This is Angelika Davey with Stephen Healey, and this is Angelika teaching German. I'm just going to find it now. Learning German with Formula One. Now, so our next one.
Yeah, a little bit of feedback from him there. Vielleicht hätten wir den Stopp anders timen sollen.
Vielleicht is perhaps.
Yeah.
Then stop is the stop.
Yeah.
Perhaps we could time the stop differently.
Almost, we should. Perhaps we should have timed the stop differently.
Yeah.
You could probably say more about that than I do because I didn't watch the race. But obviously there were problems with a pit stop also. I don't know.
Right, there are pit stops during every race, and what you try to do is to get your driver in and service, change the tyres, and then out again. But when you let him out, you must try and get him on a clear road. If he goes behind a slower driver, then he will lose time. So the whole thing is to time things differently so that you get the best benefit from actually coming into the pit stop. Hello to anyone who's joined us. This is Learning German with Angelika on Ask Angelika. We're talking Formula One, and our next German sentence, which was said by Sebastian Vettel after the last race, was...
That was his last sentence. Das Rennen hat Spaß gemacht, aber klar wurmt es mich, dass wir nicht gewonnen haben.
Rennen is race. Spaß is fun. The race was fun, but of course,
a little bit of colloquial in there again.
Right. Okay. Would you like to explain where the colloquial is?
Yeah, es wurmt mich. Because actually, I don't even know where it's coming from, but Wurm as a noun is a worm, as in a wiggly worm. But if you're saying es wurmt mich means something is bothering me.
Okay. So I got lost on that one. I need more practice, but the English translation is the race was fun, but of course it bothered me that I didn't win. I must read that one out because I want to remember it. So repetition helps you remember. Das Rennen hat Spaß gemacht, aber klar wurmt es mich, dass wir nicht gewonnen haben.
Yeah.
The race was fun, but of course it bothered me that we didn't win.
Which makes sense, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, they are very competitive. Both Hamilton and Vettel set out each race to win it, and they're evenly matched. They're both first-class Formula One drivers and good friends. And when they race, they're gentlemen off the track, but they are sportsmen first and winners when they're actually racing.
Yeah. And I think it's nice to read in his blog that he still said, though, the race was fun.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, they do it for the thrill.
Mm.
So, this was Learning German with Formula One. And I'm just going to run the sentences through again, because the sentences from Lewis were... Would you like to read that one?
Oh, right, okay. Wann hat Louis Geburtstag?
And the translation of that is when is Lewis's birthday? And I got that totally wrong, so I'm going to say now that it was the am 3. Januar or Juli. We'll check afterwards. Right. The second question became...
You made him a little bit older. It was am 7. Januar.
All right. Okay. Question 2.
Wie alt ist er?
And the translation is, how old is he? Question 3.
Yeah. Question 3 was, ist er Amerikaner?
And the translation, which we could all guess probably, is, is he American? So, and the next one we could probably guess as well, because this is an anglicized word, isn't it? Hobbies.
Yes, watch out. What looks strange, even to me now, because I've been in England for such a long time, to see hobbies, the plural one, with a Y. Because, of course, in English, hobby ends with the Y, but hobbies is with the Y changes to an IE, whereas in German it doesn't. So although it's an English word, it has been Germanized, and the plural just gets the S. And the longer I see it in English, the more I find it strange to see it with a Y in German as well.
Indeed. And the translation was, does he have any hobbies?
Yeah.
And then we went on to Sebastian Vettel. And the first question was, when hat Sebastian... Well, sorry, you read it and we'll get it right.
Wann hat Sebastian Geburtstag?
Which translates to, when is Sebastian's birthday? Mm-hmm. And do you have the date?
Yes, am 3. Juli.
So on the 3rd of July is his birthday.
That's right, yeah.
And the next question
was, wie groß ist er?
And that translates to not how big is he, but
no,
how tall is he?
Exactly.
Okay, so that's something to remember. And then the next question was?
Was ist sein Lieblingsessen?
Now you can see Liebling in there, which is love. Lieblings, loves. And Essen is to eat. So the translation is, what is his favorite food? And we learned that it was, together,
Pasta.
Pasta.
Yes. Liebling on its own is what people say to each other in German. Well, not everybody, obviously, but partners will say to each other because that's sort of darling. Yeah. And a darling, of course, is your favorite person. So by having Liebling in front of any other words, you can then find out what your favorite whatever is. Lieblingsmusik, Lieblingsessen. Children always like asking the question, was ist deine Lieblingsfarbe, favorite color?
Yeah.
Which adults don't like answering because they don't have one. And
No,
so Lieblingsfach, Lieblingssprache. I could ask you, was ist deine Lieblingsfremdsprache?
Fremdsprache.
Yeah, that's your foreign
English.
language.
Or
No, what's your favorite foreign language? Deutsch, natürlich.
I got that right. Right, if you've watched the show now, thank you for watching. And I've got a little piece of information to pass on, and hopefully Angelika will tell us more about it. If you are into German music, fan of the rock group Rammstein, then Angelika has a story.
Oh, right. Well, that's really only of interest to Rammstein fans in the UK, I guess, because there is a Rammstein tribute band in the UK called I'm not sure how to, I think they pronounce it in English, which would be Ramlight.
Ramlight,
the group
yeah.
is called Ramlight, taking it from one of the songs, which is called Ramlied, of course, in German. And this tribute band, I didn't know anything about this tribute band until recently. They have acquired a new guitarist. And that guitarist is only my son, Martin. So I'm quite proud about that.
Can I just check something? Ramlight is spelt with 2 M's?
Yes.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, we're going to find out because I'm going to show it on the screen. Ramlight. There you are. One proud mum.
Almost spelled right. It's L-I-E-D. As in
right.
lead.
Okay. As in lead.
Right.
Lead,
yes.
Okay.
So Rammstein, the group Rammstein did a song which is called Ramlied. And the tribute band has taken that as their name, but then I guess everybody pronounces it in English because they're an English band and they're in England. Hence it's Ramlight, but it's spelled L-I-E-D. So
if you search for Ramlight, you'll find them on YouTube and you can listen to their music, and they gig throughout the UK. And
yes.
There you are.
Except on YouTube, at the moment, my son is not on there. That's the old guitarist.
Right.
He's only just joined, so we're still waiting for new videos, which of course will be wonderful.
Of course it will. I mean, there are posts on Facebook as well, aren't there? If you check out Ramlight.
Yes, yes, they have got a Facebook page, and there are a few small videos on there, I think.
So I just get the spelling correct. Is that better?
That's it. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Angelika's son Martin is the guitarist with Ramlight, who you can catch throughout the UK. And Ramlight are taken after Rammstein in Germany, and we're going to see them, aren't we?
Yes, all being well and good, we will in July.
Brilliant. Okay, so you can imagine Angelika and I rocking away, listening to Ramlight. Between now and then, though, we've got plenty of work to do. Thank you for joining us today. Would you like to do the outro, please, Angelika?
Yes, well, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. So it's Tschüss von mir.
Und Tschüss von mir. Bis später. Take care. Bye from us. And thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye. Please do share. Now, today Angelika has combined my love of Formula One with learning German. And so the show today is learning German with Formula One. Would you like to explain, Angelika? And take the show.
Yes, and I think the first thing to say is that I'm actually not interested in Formula One. But I know you're not the only person. I know a lot of people are. And of course, if you are also interested in learning German, a bit more difficult. So in order to read the articles, you would need to have some knowledge of German. So I scrolled around and I thought, well, I wonder if I can find anything that even beginners can have a look at. I mean, yes, beginners, if they know all the terminology, they may still pick up words anyway. But then I came across the drivers' profiles. And I thought, well, let's have a look at 2 really important drivers in German. What better way to learn some German than with Formula One? And to start off with, so I had to do a bit of research because, as I said, I'm not really interested in it. So I thought, let's have a look what actually is available. And of course, Formula One itself has got a website, a dedicated Formula One website in German. And Formula One in German is called Formel 1. And I think you're going to share the screen of that one, aren't you?
I'm just going to say, take your seats for a German lesson. This is Ask Angelika, episode 17. And we're live on BeLive.tv with added screen share. Guten Tag, Angelika. Wie geht's?
Hallo Steven, mir geht's gut. Und dir?
Mir auch. Did I get that right? Because
Yes, you did.
I did. Good. Right. Okay. So to everybody, we'd like to say hello. And if you enjoy watching the show, then Formel 1.
Yeah,
so
Formel 1.
Formel 1. Formel is formula, 1 is one.
Yeah.
And yes, I am going to, just give me a moment, share the screen of the website if you'd like to talk about it.
Yes, I had a look around, and now part of it, the reason may be because I'm not really interested in Formula One, but I sort of thought that the website may be a little